I'm sorry, I was muted. So we're calling the meeting to order, and our roll call includes Councilor Oliver and the chair of this committee, Anthony Harrington. We are going to wait or pause a few moments to see if we have any more committee members coming on board. Okay, great. So we have Councilor
Good
Mahal.
afternoon, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. So we're going to start with old business. That's a discussion and status update regarding the CNA program. So I did speak with our principal, Jesse, last evening, and he gave an update regarding the program. Approximately 19 students began the program. 15 have completed and have now been certified. 4 students, however, are still going through completing the certification phase. So they have completed some of the certification phase, but have not completed. So they are in anticipation of those other 4 passing. I also know that some of the 15 that have completed are working. So there was a push to try to create some internship opportunities for them around town. So some of our local businesses have been participating. I don't have a clear roster, but I do know they have been participating. So the other question that was posed, to the principal was, what was the forecast for the upcoming year? And they are tremendously excited about this program for the forthcoming year. However, there has not been a clear-cut decision on funding. So they are anticipating that it will be positive, but there's no clear indication yet. It's being funded in part by Capital Workforce Partners, and I believe some other collaborators are engaged as well. So we're hopeful that they'll be able to create the program and have it extend another year. Next, we have the discussion regarding the 2025 Bloomfield Summer Bridge Program. Now, with regard to this, we do have 4 options that are on the table. One is a 6-week, 4-day-a-week program for 10 youth. The other is, you're going to get confused when I say it, but Bloomfield Summer 6 weeks again, but 5 days and with 10 youth. And then there's 6-week, 4 days a week for 15 youth. And the last is 6-week, 5 days a week, 15 youth. Now, all of this must fit within a framework of $75,000. So we have management costs related to CWP as being $19,000. Supportive services are at $1,500. That's busing, other supportive services. Then we have MPCS being 2 workshops, and then stipends being the highest of the cost, that being $21,600. It varies from program to program. I wanted to throw out to council or to the members, last year we had 20 to 22 students, and the wage was not at the level that we would have preferred. And this way, they're not being given closing costs. They're going to be given a stipend. So the hours that they work, those will be the hours that they will be paid. And I think that's right and appropriate for this. So OPP has been the agency that we've been communicating with. As you all know, Blue Hill Civic Association was the last vendor that provided services. And we have moved, and OPP has been with open arms, with taking over the program. So, so to the members, I just want to mention that there's 4 options. One is 6 days a week, 6 weeks, 4 days a week with 10 youth. The other is 6 weeks, 5 days a week with 10 youth. And the other is the flip side, 6 weeks, 4 days a week, 15 youth. And then 6 weeks, 5 days a week, 15 youth. So my thought, and please let me know what your thoughts are, was to try to maximize the stipends. We could either do, I think 10 is too low because we're working with graduating seniors and rising seniors. So with those 2 options, I mean, we need to at least have 15 youth. And last year, I just felt that we didn't deliver on the stipend part to the kids. Because during the summer, especially if they're going off to college or starting their lives, they want to leave that program with some dollars. So the provider costs do change a bit with these various, analyses. But basically, there's 480 total earned and a biweekly $1,440 total earned in 6 weeks. Now the other is 6 weeks, 5 days a week, and they could earn $1,680 during that 6-week period. So yes, I see Councilor Mahan's hand raised. Please.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor, and I appreciate you repeating the options. You did say we'd probably get confused, and I was a little confused. Like, that's a lot of options, but I appreciate you reiterating it. I think I understand your point that you want to maximize and make sure there's more folks. Excuse me, just one moment.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
I do understand your point to, maximizing. You want to help as many folks as possible. You want to make sure that as many folks as possible get this benefit. I do think there is some merit to having a more close-knit group, having those 10 individuals. They can have more of an individualized experience, more one-on-one time with instructors. I'm sorry, more personalized experience rather, and more one-on-one time with instructors. I do see some merit in that. Of course, Deputy Mayor, on this, I will pretty much yield to your preference on this, but I do want us to consider that other end of things that we could possibly. You may help more people with 15, but you may have more quality in the programming and more substance if there's less folks. So there's 2 sides to that.
Right. So one reason why I prefer to go with the larger number, we've managed each year. This will be the fourth. We've had 18, 20, 22, and not to say that each level was perfect, but 15 is a smaller level. And I think with the new vendor, they work with youth, year round, and I think they would be better prepared to manage the group. And I just think we'd be able to support more youth. So I think 15 is still within the range of an opportunity to manage the group well, given their success and experience in this arena. But you have another question, so you have the floor.
Yeah, 10. I mean, yeah, the difference between the 10 and the 15 isn't so much where I don't think someone's experience is going to be dramatically reduced or watered down going from 10 to 15. So like I said, I'm not on that one. I'm flexible on that. The only thing that I do want to make sure is that, if this program is going to move forward, that we ensure that there is adequate benchmarking with the program. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, you had some concerns around test scores that came out of the program. And so, I think the only way that we can ensure that we don't repeat that is to implement I think it was test scores and attendance with some folks.
Right.
I think the only way that we can ensure is like ensuring that we implement adequate benchmarking so that we're seeing where our youth are as they go along. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the issues, and I'll get to you, Councilor Oliver. One of the issues was that students were paid whether they were there the whole day or part of the day. And I don't like that format. I believe that the students should be there every day, and so they'll get paid every day. So this will cut out what happened last year because they will earn every dollar. And we do have NRF credentials that will be provided to the students. So they will have to earn this credential. And a lot of the work will be in terms of pre-employment types of coursework, basically, to adequately prepare our young people for the next steps. So resume writing, interviewing techniques, communication skills. There's a host of things that would better prepare them for the next stage in their career, whether it is college or work. And so Capital Workforce Partners focuses on that. And then OPP has a regular program that they'll introduce to the students. Councilor Oliver?
Thank you, Chairman. Yes, I would just like to congratulate you on doing what you're doing. I mean, I think it's awesome what you're doing, Tony. And that, sometimes, it depends on what type of class this is, our training session it is. I do understand what Councilor Mahan is saying, but I think as long as you stay between 10 and 15, that you're going to be good. And, I would go with the 15 because some people they might drop out. And then if they drop out, somebody that you told not to go might not be able to be part of it because the program's already up and running. So I agree with the 15, and I just want to tell you, great job. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Mahan?
What I think Council Oliver bring first Council Oliver, the only two options are the 10 and the 15. So we don't have too much of a choice between those two. But the my question is, I think he brings up a phenomenal point of what happens when folks do drop out. I'm sure there's like a waiting list. What does that look like?
Well, ideally, there's a waiting list. The issue here is timing. So graduation is June 11th. So we're looking at less than a month to get the word out and solidify those who are interested in participating. Remember, these are only students who reside in Bloomfield. They can have gone to school at other locations within this area, but they have to be Bloomfield residents. So in the past, we have leaned on a few students that were not registered at the outset. So when someone left or didn't show up to start, we were able to backfill. I don't know at this moment if that will be the case, but it probably leads into the next discussion point. So if we know that it will be 15 youth, do you think 4 days or 5 days? Councilor Oliver and Councilor Mahan, because you two are the only one I can speak to regarding
Go ahead.
this.
I'm here. I'm listening.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
getting noise in the background, and I didn't want it to be on Zoom and have noise in the background. I'm out of town, and I got trucks driving by, and it's kind of loud. So
Okay.
I just didn't want to. I'm not ignoring you. I'm here with you, brother.
Yeah.
I'm ignoring you, Tony. Just messing with you. So I think five is great to prepare folks like that freshman year of college. I know with my freshman year, they had us pretty much take every day. They had us take classes. As you go on to sophomore, junior, senior year, you typically that Friday class is more optional. So I'll pose both sides.
Okay.
The 5-day course can allow folks to maintain that continuity between high school and going off to whatever their post-secondary opportunity is, because even if they go to work, most likely they're going to be working like a Monday through Friday schedule. Or if they decide to go into car business like me, you're working Monday through Saturday. So they're gonna have to get used to doing that, at least staying consistent with that schedule. On the other end, it is summer, and these kids do deserve a break. I don't mean to say kids, but these young people do deserve a break. They have been going at it all semester. It would be nice if they had that Friday off. So there is the other end of it.
I'm seeing the hand that raises 4 in our, I don't want to say peanut gallery. That would be inappropriate. But others are suggesting that we go with the 4 days as well. My concern initially was, these are grown folks now. But my concern initially was parents are gonna, be prepared
vacation
for a program that is 5 days a week, and so they don't have to worry about opening the house or whatever. I don't know. Maybe that's a concern that I really shouldn't be considered. Yeah, it's not my God. Okay, thank you very much. Okay. All right, we're gonna maybe work for the 4 days and see how that goes. What I do have
I like
to
the
mention,
4 days.
Okay. What I do have to mention is we now have to find a new location. because in the past, we were in the high school library. And apparently there's going to be major renovations in that area over the summer. I'm going to talk with our superintendent tomorrow to see if there possibly is another option, because while having the classes in the library, we also had the benefit of free lunch at lunchtime. So the budget was set up in the absence of paying for meals during lunch. So that's something that we have to, consider, because we did reduce the budget by $12,000 recently. So that took away that little piece. But I'm gonna call on Councilor Oliver, and then I'm gonna move to the next area, because it does also involve finance.
Thank you, Chairman. I just wanted to say I agree with both you and Tony. I think 4 days is pretty good, especially if it's a summertime thing. You want people to be able to breathe a little bit without it's like, okay, I'm gonna do the summer program. I'm gonna get paid for it, and I'm gonna have Fridays off to still be able to enjoy a little bit of my summer. So I do agree, and I think that's a good idea. That's all I wanted to have an input on.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I'm assuming that it's probably 5 hours each, so it's probably 20 hours versus 25,
Gotcha.
or maybe it's, I don't know. I have to talk to the vendor. I would like to move to the next area. It's basically a discussion and possible action regarding funding surplus from 2024 Bloomfield Summer Bridge Program. So last year, we found that CWP was able to, because they managed the program, they received $9,800 from the 75 of last year. They took that from Blue Hills Civic Association. So in our discussions, because we were going to have to ramp up very quickly to get, information out to the students and things of that sort, in discussions with CWP, some of that was going to be used to for program startup, because we've never had that. We usually would be further along in this process at this point in time. Again, school is out June 11th, and it is now May 13th, 12th, 13th. So we have roughly a month. And this is what we're anticipating to do. And I'd like to hear from the counselors to see what your opinion or thoughts are on that. Some discussion. Gentlemen?
Sorry,
Gentlemen?
I was trying to unmute here.
Okay.
I mean, I'm on board with whatever you feel is best fit. You kind of put this together. I think like the decision isn't something that dramatically needs to be looked at from somebody outside of a person who's been doing this for quite some time now, and putting all that time into it yourself. So I wouldn't, I would recommend to go whatever that you feel is the best fit for the program.
Okay, thank you. I see Councilor Lloyd has joined us. So we're talking about the Summer Bridge Program. We have roughly $75,000 plan, of which $9,800 is available to us from last year's program. And we're looking to utilize some portion of that for startup, because we have to get OPP, which is the vendor that we've agreed to use, versus Blue Hills to start up and to come into the classrooms to promote the program. We do have some inquiries that have been made in town by some residents who said, I want my son or daughter in the program. So we do have a few that way, but we need to give them opportunity to come into the school and talk about the program so we can get some buy-in from the students and from the parents. So I just wanted to kind of give
Do
a
we
fast and
do
skinny.
is that mandatory to have it? Wait, first of all, are you saying that it's going to cost us to have them do that, like, um, I guess the advertising aspect of it?
Well, what has to be done in the past, I've kind of done the pre-work by going into schools and promoting it and then getting applications completed. But it's no longer in my hands to do that. So the vendor that we choose will actually be doing the bulk of that activity. Usually CWP does that, just like with our summer program through Bloomfield. They kind of manage that process. So it's not entirely different. It's just that OPP would make the pitch to the students because they know the kind of NRF credentials that they'll be providing, and they'll know the services that they'll be providing to the students throughout the time period. So they're in a better position to explain and get the buy-in from the students and the parents. Rarely have we been in the school too much. It's all been word of mouth and that type of thing. I think this is a good process to get in the school first to, maybe get the bulk of the students enrolled, and then those others would come from, more word of mouth and promotion.
I'm sorry. I don't know if I missed this because I'm traveling from work. I may have hit a
Okay,
spot
sorry.
with I think I hit a spot with where the reception was a bit off. Um,
Okay.
so I'm trying to understand the onboarding cost aspect of this. Where does that come into play? And this, I know you said there was some money that could be allocated over
Mm-hmm.
into this year.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm just trying to figure out where that's coming into play.
Okay. So we had a program last year. Um, I believe, very honestly, some of the students were, I don't want to say underpaid, but the agency that was managing it, um, uh, there were some food costs that we didn't have to pay because we had students getting food from high school. So there were some costs that weren't incurred. Blue Hills could not just keep that money. They gave it back to the managing fiduciary, which was Capital Workforce Partners. So there was a total of $9,800 of the 75 that is the town's. And what was discussed was that we have a new vendor, and it's going to cost for them to ramp up this new program and administer it so we can get the 15 students enrolled based on, town and CWP standards and, and start the program. So right now, we're looking for housing, not housing, but, a location to administer the program. But in the interim, we need OPP to begin launching its own efforts to secure the 15 students. They currently work with a number of Bloomfield students right now. So there probably are some students that are currently enrolled in their regular programming that may be in 11th grade, may be graduating, that may come right into our program. That has not been determined yet because we're just waiting for the go-ahead. So they've put the program together and they've submitted this. So we're just, you know, looking to move forward. So we'll go with the 15 students for 4 days a week. And I don't know what the exact wage is. I think it's $16 an hour. I don't know if it's 25 hours or 30, but based on the 4 days, we'll figure out what it is. Generally, it's like 9 to 3, but I'm sure we'll just figure it out within the next coming days because I do have a meeting with CWP tomorrow morning. No, tomorrow afternoon. And so I will have more information to provide. I have paperwork here that shows, but everyone's online. So I will certainly, you know, get this to you within the next day. Councilor Mahan?
Sorry, so I'm just trying to understand. I may have missed it again. My apologies. Is our piece of the pie looking to receive that um, the leftover money from the previous year's budget for their onboarding expenses, or did I
Essentially,
mishear that?
but
Okay,
it's, yeah, CWP is basically the fiduciary. So just like they made sure we got the $9,800 from Blue Hills that wasn't spent, they're gonna rightfully distribute, you know, this based on what they need to do to start up the program. The figures I have here are once the program begins, you know, the hours and things of that sort. But what happens before then is what we will use some portion of the 9,800 for that. It's not said that the 9,800 will go to OPP. It's just there will be some startup costs related to them coming to the schools and ramping up the, you know, the program
so they.
prior to the actual start date.
Okay, sorry for cutting off the deputy mayor. So they don't have a specific cost budget for the onboarding. Will they like bill it retroactively, or how does that work?
I will be talking to CWP within the next day about further information relating to this. We just know that we need to move post haste to contact the students, to get the students interested in the program, and then to register them. So I don't believe it will ramp out to be any huge amount. It's just very good that we have access to that because no CBO or any other organization is going to be willing to do a lot of work up front with no dollars to be delivered. So I just don't have that amount right now to provide. I will speak with CWP regarding that within the next day.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I don't want to, you know, belabor this too much, but I'm looking forward to a great program this year. And when we need to lean on leisure services or social and youth services or senior services, we will do that because they're in the room and they're always so helpful. And with that in mind, we're going to move to reports from town staff. We'll start with senior services. Ms. Yvette Hugh-Pennell. The new look.
Is it on? Yeah, I just pressed it. Okay. So I just wanted to report on some of the things that we've done. We did a paint night party with Parks, Recreation, and Leisure on the 2nd. We had over 30 participants. It was very crowded. People had a lot of fun, and we almost ran out of food, which never happens. We had our Mother's Day, our pre-Mother's Day luncheon on Friday the 9th at the Anthony's Ocean View. It was a beautiful location. Unfortunately, it was raining, but the food was phenomenal and the dancing, people had a great time. We were engaged in a partnership with the West Hartford Bloomfield Health District and taking 15 attendees for 1-hour sessions for the next 3 months. The first one is on May 12th, which would just pass. And so it's a chance for people to really start building up their strength and energy. And if the program is successful, we might be able to continue it. The 9th annual casual prom is taking place this Thursday. Students from the University High School of Science and Engineering come together with their decorations from their prom, which was last weekend. And they decorate the great room, and we have 50 seniors who come and dance and have a great time. And it's very casual. They play games, they win prizes. It's really kind of a neat thing. Many of them have never had their own prom, and so it's a chance to not have to get dressed up on something that you can't afford, but to still have a good time. I guess, not sure if Camilla or Dave will talk about it, but there's Shred Day coming up, and I'm sure they'll give you some more information. And also small electronics recycling. We have a program that we're partnering with the library to do on responding to dementia-related behaviors. It's presented to us by the Alzheimer's Association. And again, it's on Monday, the 19th of May at 5:30 in the Great Room. The Senior Center will be participating again in the Memorial Day Parade. And the National Senior Health and Fitness Day for the spring is taking place on the 27th through the 30th. So it's not really a day, we make it the whole week. So people have a chance to do some walking. They put in a little ticket every time they walk for each day. And then we do drawings and we have gift cards and other gifts for them. And then just a little heads up for next month, we have our 5th annual pre-Juneteenth celebration, which we have in the gymnasium. Dave lets us get in there and do it up for the day. We have African dancers coming, and we have drummers, and also a steel band drummer. And we have our own little drumming group that we've been working with for the last 6 months, and they'll come and perform as people are coming in and entering the room. We also started a walkers club. It was part of what we were going to do with a grant, but we were able to do it without the grant. So everyone walks on Monday mornings. They get together, walk around the campus. Some people go around once, other people go. We start with someone in the front leading the group who wants to walk longer. And we also have someone in the back end of the group for the people that walk slower or want to stop and rest. So that's my report. Any questions? Oh, okay, thank you.
That's pretty exciting. I remember my mother participated in some of those proms, and it's just nice to see folks kind of dressed up and feeling good about themselves. And, it's great. It's great. Well, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Great job. And now we will have social and youth services.
Good evening. I'll give a brief overview of a little bit about what we're doing in the department, and then I'll turn it over to Angelica to discuss some highlights about youth services. We are in the midst of collecting applications for renter's rebate, started April 1st and will go through September 30th. Renter's rebate is a program similar to the homeowner's tax relief program that the tax assessor's office does. However, this one is for renters who are age 65 and older, or if you're under the age of 65 and you are receiving Social Security disability and you meet the income guidelines, you can apply for the program and get up to $700 rebate from the state of Connecticut. So please contact our office for additional information. The State of Connecticut Energy Assistance Program, which is run through Community Renewal Team, also known as CRT, will be coming to an end May 30th. The intake worker that we had in our office, her last week was last week. So if anyone is still in need of an appointment for their heating costs, you have to call CRT at 860-560-5800 to schedule an appointment in another location because you won't be able to come to Bloomfield to apply. Again, you can also call our office for more information. Operation Fuel is still accepting applications to help with water bills. We received quite a few phone calls today in our office because MDC is in the neighborhood doing shutoffs of water if you have a huge balance. So please contact our office, or you can go onto the Operation Fuel website, I think it's operationfuel.org, and apply for assistance. We are working to pull together a veterans group, Dave Malesko, and I still call it Leisure Services. It's a longer name now, but I'll just say Leisure Services because you know what I'm talking about. But we've been talking about pulling this group together to kind of serve as an advisory board around activities and programs and planning for all things veterans in the town of Bloomfield. So if you are interested in being a part of this and helping us and helping you, please reach out and give either of us a call. Farmers Market shopping cards, we're always waiting for that we're hoping to start distributing that in June. Last year, the card value was $50. This year, it was decreased to $40. And we're still receiving training, but it's for Bloomfield seniors who are age 60 and older, and you have to meet a certain income guideline. So I would say give us a call sometime in June to see if we've started distributing that. Yvette mentioned about Shred Day, which is this Saturday, May 17th at Bloomfield High School. This is our second year at the high school. We think it works better, it's a better flow of traffic. We'll be collecting any of your personal items that need shredding as well as electronics. I don't have the list of all of the electronics that they accept, but if you go to the town website, you'll see more information there. Hours of shred days, 9 a.m. to noon or until the truck is full. So there is a possibility that it can end earlier than noon. So we recommend that you get there early to get your items shredded. Also on that day, there will be a human trafficking awareness walk that will take place on the town green from noon to 2. The organization, I have it in my phone, I don't have it up here with me, I apologize, but they will be also collecting food for our food bank. And again, that's noon to 2 on this Saturday, May 17th on the Town Hall Green. And that concludes my report. I will turn things over to Angelica.
Quick question for you.
Yes.
Where are we at right now in terms of the food bank? Are we fine?
We're better, but the donations that we received over the holidays are beginning to dwindle. And we don't know what the future holds with SNAP benefits, also known as food stamps. So we are starting to see a slight increase in usage of our food bank. So we are always in need of food. That's the other thing I forgot to mention. I see Councilor Oliver's hand is up as well. The Department of Public Works will be hosting their annual food drive at Geisler's on Saturday, the 24th. in recognition of, I think it's National Public Works Week. So they will be collecting food at Geisler's on both Friday, the 23rd of this month and Saturday, the 24th. So that's another opportunity to donate food to benefit our food bank. But we are always in need and we will never turn away a donation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Councilor Oliver?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. Yes, I appreciate what you guys are doing over there. 330 Park, you guys are always busy. You're deep in the community. You're always doing great things. You will see me out there this Saturday at some point. But the question I have about CRT is, can you at least apply online? I know that, maybe, the jobs are getting scarce and they're, maybe merging things together. So, they don't want to have it in Bloomfield, whatever it is. But is there a way for residents that, don't have the ability to drive all the way down to North Main, or wherever the area is to put their name on that list? Is there a digital? Can they go online? Things like that. That's basically my question to you.
Sure. Thank you for the recognition and always the support, Councilor Oliver. And to answer your question, yes, anyone can go online to apply. You have to go to, you can go to either Community Renewal Team's website or the State of Connecticut Department of Social Services and look for energy assistance programs. You can apply through there as well. You can also come into our office and pick up a paper application, and you can manually fill out an application that either can be mailed in with the supporting documents or we can fax it over to CRT as well. So thank you. That's a great question because there are other options.
Thank you. It seems like there's more than a few options, so that's a good thing to hear. Appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you for the question.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm just going to share our updates for the Youth Services Department. We did have our Youth Summit on Saturday, May 10th. It was a collaboration with the Parks and Recreation Department, the Bloomfield West Hartford Health District, and the Town of Windsor. We had a really great turnout for the summit and support of the parents as well. They were really making sure the kids got there on time. The focus of the Youth Summit was on mental health, health relationships, and financial literacy. We received great feedback and we're looking forward to plans for the next year, looking at things that we can add on to enhance the Youth Summit. Funding through town council initiatives. It was funded through town council initiatives along with town departments, and the Town of Windsor made this Youth Summit possible. In terms of our programs, we have our biking program with the Hartford Rolling Anvils with our Tribe Young Men's Group. It's a partnership also with the Bloomfield Police Department. You have the opportunity to learn about bike safety. They exercise and focus on healthy choices. They learn about various biking trails, and the mental health funding through town council initiatives and Councilor McClary's advocacy has provided the financial support for this program. This program we do plan on continuing through the end of June to give them enough time to ride a couple of the trails to get some of that experience. But for the feedback, a lot of the youth have been enjoying the trails and experience. So this may be something we can try to explore how we can continue on for the next session. For summer youth employment, the application closes May 30th for Bloomfield Youth, and we service ages 14 through 17. Applications are currently under review and we're preparing to start the interview process. We are still in need of a few work sites. We do have a few town departments and a few small businesses already secured. We just need a few more to make sure we have enough variety for the youth to participate this summer. In terms of funding, we're still waiting the final approval through Capital Workforce Partners, which will determine the number of youth that we're able to participate this summer. Last conversation, sometime in June, we're going to get notice of our award slot so we can kind of narrow down after the interviews who we can select, who will be on a wait list, and who we're not able to service for the program. So that concludes my piece of the report. Does anyone have any questions? Oh, they can apply through the Capital Workforce website. So the application is a uniform application for all the providers in the region. They would just have to select Town of Bloomfield as the provider to get on our list.
Thank you. I would like to say, every time we run Summer Bridge, we end up coming back to you guys to see if you have any folks that you weren't able to select or due to your program already being filled. So in the event that you have some of those after your last date, please consider letting us know so we can possibly help out as well.
Will do, yes.
Any questions from the committee or Councilor Lloyd?
No questions from me. Thank you for your report. Very good. Thank you.
No questions.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. No questions.
Same here. Thank you very much for your report.
Okay, the next area to cover is other business. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Parks, Recreation, and Leisure Services.
Oh my gosh, Deputy Mayor.
I know.
If you could have seen the look on my face.
Let me say this, and I probably shouldn't. I was a senior at the University of Hartford. We had a football team then. And not to brag, but I guess I am, I was the best player, right? So we were at our coronation, ceremony, and they got to the MVP part, and everybody was like, hey, hitting you. And so I got ready to stand. And they said someone else.
Oh.
So that, when you were walking up, it reminded me of that moment. But anyway, I'm sorry. This is one young man that does great things in our community. So we will give you the mic.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Deputy Mayor. Most of the things are upcoming, but I did want to at least mention and thank everyone for coming out for the successful Philly Park Grand reopening that was held on May 3rd. Happy to report that there was approximately 100 people there. We had ice cream there and they gave out 96 ice creams there. So it was real easy for me to keep track of attendance there. But it was a beautiful day. We couldn't have asked for a nicer day. So thank you to all. And if you haven't had the opportunity to go and check out the park, please do. There are a lot of people in there just reading the book in the small gazebo. After the fact, there was a group home that came in and it was able to use the pavilion, have some pizza, and just enjoy the day. So I stuck around for a good hour and a half afterwards. So it was really nice. Thank you all. Everyone mentioned Shred Day for this upcoming Saturday, the May 17th. Memorial Day was on May 26th. We will be starting off the day at 10 a.m. at Mountain View Cemetery for a small intimate ceremony, followed by the parade kickoff at 11:30 a.m. And immediately after that on the town green will be the town green ceremonies. This year's speaker will be retired Colonel Lori Wynn, and our parade marshal will be Richard Barlow. So hopefully you can come on out. I do apologize. I would have liked to have already had my invitations letter to all the members of the council by now, but you will be receiving it tomorrow. I've been working on it most of the day today, just did not get to that part. But you will get a formal invitation tomorrow from me.
It's okay, Dave. We believe you.
Saturday, May 31st will be the Fishing Derby, will be the third annual Fishing Derby. As part of that, they'll be stocking the pond on May 22nd with bass. And as part of that, there will be over a dozen trophy fish that'll be in there as well. I believe that there are anywhere between 12 plus inches in order to be considered trophy fish. After that, we'll be stocking it with bluegills as well. But we won't stock it with bluegills until after the fishing derby is completed because we want the bass to be hungry and biting on the day of the derby. So we finalized that advertisement today with Councilor McCleary, so that'll be going out as well. After the following weekend, we'll be hosting the Community Cleanup Day on June 7th. We'll be meeting at 330 Park Avenue, and then we'll be, at that point in time, everyone will congregate, get their assignments, and then you'll go off to your locations throughout town. You'll come back after the fact and come on over and we'll enjoy lunch. I'm working with various departments. I'd be I certainly don't want to miss out on Office Strategic Communications and Government Affairs, who's been vital in that, as well as DPW. And then the next event after that will be the kickoff to the summer concert series, which will be held on Thursday, June 19th with LaTanya Farrell. As I mentioned, our opening concert, and we are planning to try and do a little something special that day as well, to be announced at a later date, since it is the Juneteenth as well on that day. So we would like to make it a special day. So we are in process of planning something special for that. The following week on June 23rd will be the opening of our summer camps and our pool program. The pool program will actually begin the week earlier for preseason hours, but the official kickoff to the pool season starts on the same day as our camps, which is the 23rd. Currently in finalizing the carpentry program with Counselor Oliver. We had a nice discussion today on how we were moving forward and maybe adjusting some of the dates around and what we could potentially do to still accomplish some of the training during the summer months and then have the practicum be during the month of September. So we're in the process of trying to finalize that now. I would anticipate marketing material going out for that very soon because it's an aggressive time frame that we're looking at. So we need to get the kids into the program. Do want to mention the farmer's market. I know that the farmer's market, unfortunately, is not currently being funded, but I have been having discussions with Laura Palandre, who oversaw the farmer's market last year, and she's doing with what she can to still potentially bring that program, keep it going this year without the funding that it received to make it a self-sustaining program and to work out and to see if she can get funds elsewhere. So it's in developmental stages right now, but there is a good chance that we may be able to do something there. Again, more to come on that. And then I also wanted to mention, I don't know if you've noticed a little bit more activity down at the fields, in addition to the soccer program that we do this time of the year, the Bloomfield Junior Soccer Association does. On the evenings, they've been practicing, and on Saturday evenings, the Connecticut flag football program has been using the fields at 330 Park Avenue. It's been successful, minus all the rain that we've had on Saturday evenings. So they've had some makeups on Friday nights, and I think they have a makeup coming up on one of these Sundays as well. That concludes my report. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Counselor Oliver?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. I'd just like to give you your kudos, man. I drove by every week and I drive by, and that building, that property, always something going on there. The sports, the soccer, the flag football. It's I love 330 Park. You guys are really holding it down as a whole team together. And just want to give you your big kudos, and I appreciate you. Thanks.
Well, thank you. And on behalf of my colleagues, thank you.
I have a question. A couple of years ago, you had
asked about my own
a father's program or something.
We did I think it was the Hero Day, Dad's Hero Day.
Yes.
So that was run by an outside agency, and we were just helped collaborate on that day. Mr. Crocker was instrumental in bringing that.
Yes.
To there, and unfortunately, Mr. Crocker is no longer with us, and so I think with that, the program has maybe shifted gears elsewhere. But it is something that we would gladly entertain that again.
Yeah, it was really a wonderful program. So I'll try to check into that a bit further. Thank you very much. And thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you.
All you all do. That building is active, as he has said. And then we also have so many programs for our seniors. You know, I make the mistake sometimes of using the term elderly, and I get, they get me real quick, especially considering the fact that I'm part of that group. But the Memorial Day parade, that starts at what time?
The parade itself will kick off at 11:30 a.m.
Okay. Okay.
So
And
we-
it'll follow the same route as?
Be the same route. We'll start at Barnard Lane, take a turn left onto Bloomfield, basically Bloomfield Avenue, go head north to Tonks's, take a right onto Wittenberry, onto Jerome Avenue, and then conclude here on Park Avenue.
Okay.
So it's basically, it's a big loop all the way around the town
Right,
center.
Right. Okay. Okay. Looking forward to it.
Thank you. Me as well.
Thank you. So at this time, we will entertain any public comments. Well, okay. That's right. My apologies. That's when I intercepted the, okay.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So my name is India Rogers, and in this role I'm speaking on right now, I am representing my department, Strategic Communications and Government Affairs. And it just dawned on me that this is the particular committee and perfect committee to report out things that 330 is not doing in the community and what we do in my department. So that would fall under our ribbon cuttings and groundbreakings that we do within the community. So I just wanted to let the public know that we support the Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, as well as the town, and several ribbon cuttings that occur throughout the community. And we recently had one last Thursday for Fine Federal Dispensary on 10 Mosey Drive. That was an awesome event. We have an upcoming two. One is Collaborative Natural Health Partners, a ribbon cutting on Wednesday, May 21st at 5 p.m., and that's going to be at 1 Northwestern Drive, Suite 202. And we also have another ribbon cutting, Tecta America, New England, and Weather Guard ribbon cutting at 12 noon and 400 Woodland Avenue. In addition to that, my department also supports a lot of our town boards and commissions with their programming events throughout the community. And on June 6th, Friday, June 6th at 5:30 p.m. at the front steps of Town Hall, we're going to be having our 5th annual Pride Day event. So come out and support that as well. And that's all I have for now, but I'll be back in front of you if I have events coming up on this given day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I remember last year they had a group of singers. They were very, very good. Oh, excellent. Excellent. Thank you. Now I can get back to the order. That was, okay. So now we would like to provide any public comments from online. We have one? Okay. You have the floor, Wendy.
Good evening. Wendy Williams, 48 Gab Road. So first, I want to thank all of you, all of the heads, Deputy Mayor, India, you guys run the town efficiently, effectively, tons and tons of things I don't even know about you're doing. So I do want to thank you for that. I wanted to roll back, Tony, I believe 4 days, as I chirped in there is the peanut gallery, which I'm sorry, but I couldn't help myself. I do think 4 days for the young adults merging in. I think it is a great transition into the workforce, as Councilor Oliver and Councilor Mahan said, it gives them Friday off maybe, or Monday, pick a bookend, but to give them 4 straight days of working, and maybe that will help keep them coming for those
Right.
that by, the 3rd day are kind of like, I don't know if I'm feeling this. The generation seems to be weary, these generations, about working 4 or 5 days in a row. So I do think that is important. The other piece that you were talking about, food. So if it is not located in a school, let's say it could be at leisure, in 330 Park Ave, is there a possibility to have food potentially provided? So I'm not going to speak out of turn because I am speaking on behalf of myself, but as the president of the Lions Club, I think we might be able to help support something like that if food might be an issue. If nothing
Great.
more than providing, light snacks or provide breakfast or something I'd like to put us on the table for as part of that initiative, at least to have conversations futuristically
Yes.
for 5 weeks to see if we could do something simplistic, at least. I don't want to commit to too much, but just seeing what you have budgeting wise. I'd like to put myself in the club out there for that, speak on behalf of
Thank
the
you.
club.
Thank you so much. That
You're more
would
than
be
welcome.
wonderful.
That's something simple, and it's not simple, but it's something that is what we can help provide, but it takes it off the table of having to have it funded for through that money that we, are unsure of.
Right.
The second thing goes to Dave. So dare I ask, how much is the farmer's market to put on? Like, what is the cost to do that? I'm sure it's more than I want to know, but I knew it was taken out of the budget, but what is the cost to?
The cost that was allocated last year was $30,000. The request this year was $35,000. That was to keep it going throughout the year. So it would start up, I think it was either the second or third weekend in June, and then that would carry you throughout most of the month of October. And then from October, from that point, you'd be able to go indoors to 330 Park Avenue for this upcoming year. But if you're looking for donations or something along those lines, that's kind of where this is leading. You know, things could be modified, scaled down a little bit to still make things successful with it. So I think any donation that would potentially go out there, you know, and through it would, I'm sure would be appreciated and used in a positive manner. But that was the fund, and that was asked for this year.
I wish I had 30 grand to give you, Dave, you know that, but no, I just wondered, and I may speak to you off to the side too, to scale it back, even if it wasn't full year, but at least to bring it through the summer. I think it was a great addition to the summer concerts. And I think that, you know, we like to keep ourselves that green town, and it's kind of a shame we can't have a little farmer's market, but definitely, I would like to see if we can find some ways to get funds, you know, possibly to at least do a portion of it. I don't know what that looks like or if it's even possible, but.
Yeah, I do believe that it could be scaled down some to be able to accommodate, you know, a lower dollar denomination in order to make it happen. You know, a lot of it went to subsidies and made it as robust as it was last year. So it doesn't necessarily need to be as robust as it was last year. There's 2 or 3 key vendors that you need to have for there in order to make it happen and viable for them to continue to come every week. You have to guarantee them a certain dollar amount every week. And so if they don't make that in sales, they need to have it, pick it up. And then we also were able to hand out coins to make it some reduced costs for some of our residents as well.
Correct. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. I
Thank
think
you
that's
very
it.
much.
Deputy Mayor, I think that's it.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for being online. Do we have any more? Councilor Lloyd?
Thank you. Just a brief moment. Thank everyone for coming out and providing your presentations. We really do have more than anyone would think going on in Bloomfield. And so much of the credit goes to our staff and volunteers throughout town for making this always happen. And even as we endeavor a difficult budget season, we know we're still going to be robust in what we can do to provide services and benefit to our residents. And I did want to say thank you to Wendy for offering to help try to support the kids in their meals for the summer bridge program. That was quite generous. And hopefully, Wendy, the teenagers eat a lot. You might eat them words. But anyway, thank you so much for that. That was quite generous. And I appreciate everybody on this call tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any more online public comments? We will ask one more additional time. Do we have any public comments? You may have the floor at this time. Hearing none or seeing none, we will close this portion and move to.
Adjourn?
Well, we won't.
Approval of minutes?
We are not prepared for that tonight. It will be at our next meeting. There's a lot going on today, so we will now move to possibly adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, the chair votes aye. It is unanimous. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your time with us, and we look forward to you having a great week.